Hello everybody. I said during the Todd Howard interview video that I wanted to do one about the system level lock, and this is it. Now, just to cover what I'm talking about and give you a basic idea, if you ever played my Oblivion mods and you've seen my Cyrodiil upgrade overhaul, that's Cyrodiil upgrade overhaul, if it wasn't clear, you'll notice that I make it possible for a level 50 character to spawn when you're still level 1. And you're never going to know when that character is going to appear because it's not advertised and you don't know what the level lock is on the system. Now, in Oblivion and Skyrim, well, not so much in Skyrim, but in Oblivion, the whole systems are level locked. Like you enter a cave, it'll be level locked at the moment you enter. So if you enter at level 5, that's a level 5 dungeon from now on. I did away with that. I changed the nature of that completely. So when you walked into the dungeon for the first time, a level 50 could appear right there and then, and he'd be, a level 50 character would keep on spawning there after that. So basically, I got around the level lock by doing that. And as a consequence, when you walk around a thing for the first time, be it an Oblivion Gate or a cave or a castle, and you're level 5 and a level 50 guy comes at you in ebony armour, yeah, it's brown trouser time. So it's good. It really adds some excitement. It is something I felt should have been in hardcore mode, because hardcore mode is all about, adding tons of extra hit points to a character. So you've got to fire 20 bazillion arrows at somebody to kill it. That's not hardcore mode to me. That is a opt-out. That is a cop-out. Whereas you raise the character and make it much more difficult to kill because he's better at using a sword and because he can cause more damage to you when he hits you. Yeah, that's hardcore mode right there. You don't need to increase the hit points dramatically to excessive amounts. You don't need to reduce the player's ability to cause damage. You just have to make sure the skills as such are laid out in such a way where you can actually say, this guy's here is so good with a sword, I'm going to find it hard to land a blow. Then you've got hardcore mode, in my opinion. But that's just me. Right? Anyhow, in Starfield, now Starfield is on about level locking entire systems. Now, if we follow what I've just said, and you don't know when you enter a system as opposed to a cave or a castle, what kind of things you're going to find on that planet, you might find it's a bug planet. Sorry, I had to do that one. You might find the creatures on the planet are all level 40, which is the maximum level that Todd Howards said he was going to cap these at. So if you've got a level 40 planet and you're arriving there at level 3, every creature on that planet is going to be harder than you. It's going to be very much a challenge. But like the Cyrodiil upgrade overhaul, though, when you're walking around it, the chances are you'll have a chance of finding some fairly high level items early on if you're willing to risk going there and taking a chance. Chances are, though, you're going to end up using stealth a lot early on. So the stealthy laser arch will be back, I can guarantee it. So when you're actually walking around and you're using these planets, like they said the tile planets, they've been making planets out of tiles. And you land on one of these tiles and it's got a marker for a base. And that base is level locked to the same level as the system. The creatures inside are going to be a higher level than maybe the same base on a planet that's level locked at a much lower level. So if you go to, say, a pirate base at level 1 and you're in a level 2 system, then that level 2 system will have level 2 pirates in it. The same base on a level 40 system will have much harder creatures in it, or much harder pirates. So it'd be very different. But it does mean as well that Bethesda can deliberately spawn high value items on high level systems. You can think about it though. If you wanted to make something rare, stick it on a level 40 planet. Simple as that. If you wanted to make something hard to get, stick it on a level 40 planet. If you wanted easy things, fuel, that kind of thing, mining, bases, stuff like that, stick it on a level 1 planet. And it's simple as that. And if you wanted to take it one step further, and this is why I wanted a separate video, you could script in events on these harder planets, like attacks from bandits, animals attacking your base, death worlds, where everything is out to kill you. and that's a nod to Harry Harrison and his books, right? But anyway, see, the idea of a death world, not just a bug planet like I keep joking, but a real death world where everything on it is highly dangerous. That's a mod waiting to happen, that, isn't it? That's a mod that needs to be made. That there is almost begging me to do a Harry Harrison tribute mod. Because you go down to a planet and I think, okay then, right, this that's a point, I haven't said this yet, have I? That level list for that planet will be unique to that planet, or rather would be unique to all level 40 planets. Anybody editing that level list would be able to create a death world. Anybody. Because that's how the game works. You know? So if you've got level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 planets, and you've got a level list for spawning creatures from level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 per planet, all you have to do to make death worlds is pick one of those levels and stick every dangerous creature in the game on that planet. And you've got yourself a death world. And if they do the same thing as No Man's Sky, make some plants dangerous as well, bingo, you've got it, you know. You can then script events on the actual planet itself to represent base attacks and assaults on the player's ship and things like that. Or you could even make it so that there's nothing on the planet that the player can use to survive. Nothing. He has to bring it with him or he doesn't get it. You know? So if he runs out of, say, health or something like that, he's in deep trouble. This is the kind of thing you could do. On industrial planets, for example, you could cover the whole planet in smog. You know? A real thick smog, kind of Harkonian-style smog. That way, when you're landing on the planet, it looks like it's heavily industrialised. Although I'm not too sure Bethesda will do that. But that's another mod begging to be made, isn't it? You can add your own planet and then just change the atmosphere so you can't see your hand in front of your face. Then add some toxic creatures to it, maybe another death world planet, and you've got fog that limits your vision to a few feet and very dangerous creatures hiding in the fog. You see where I'm going with this? This whole thing, the whole idea behind a level locked system opens up doors that we haven't seen opened in any previous Bethesda game. And this is the point I want to ram home hard. Because if you can say, right, level 39, that's going to be toxic planets. Level 38, that's going to be dinosaurs. Level 37, that's going to be... And then you just don't tell the player what level they're entering, what levels of the system they're entering. It won't appear, you won't know all level 37 stuff are dinosaurs or anything like that, or toxic or industrialised. You'll just start getting the feeling that every time you see a fog bank and industry, it's going to be a death world. That's the only thing you're going to know. And then you can mix it up as well. You could take that level list and you can mix it up so you get some easy characters and hard characters like I did in Serial Upgrade Overhaul. You can think, right, because I did it so there was a few points. You had like, if you were level 5, you might get a few level 3s and a few level 7s. And then I made it about 10 to 20% possibility that, or 10% possibility that a level 50 might appear as well. So it was low probability, but it still might. You could do the same thing. You could change all these level lock systems. The danger we've got though is it's going to feel like Oblivion, when you're leveling up, and where you get to a certain level and all the armour that all the bandits are wearing changes overnight, and it goes through from leather to steel to glass, all the way up, and you think to yourself, yeah, I know what's coming next when I level up. They're all going to change to ebony, so it could end up like that. So it might not be necessarily a good thing for us in that respect, but the level list will be there for all levels to spawn on each system, and modders will get their hands on that and they will just mod the hell out of it. One thing I know for a fact is you're going to have overhauls competing with each other. That will cause some disputes in the community, because it always does. See, the Elder Scrolls community isn't a very mature community. What it does is, if somebody makes a rival mod, they attack that mod maker. They do everything they can to make that mod maker's life hell so he quits, so they're the only mod left. That's going to happen, I'm afraid. Right? Because it's instead of just trying to outdo each other and make a better mod, they resort to that kind of tactic, and it's just sad, but it happens all the time. You'll get some really dirty mods. Probably the dirty mod conversation will come back because overhauls trigger that because they're editing everything in the game. But I'm sorry to say, but in this particular instance, if you're editing a level list for a system, it's how it has to be. You can't do that cleanly. If you wanted to add your own creatures or remove creatures or make it a death world, then only you could edit that. There's no bash patching or merging the files or load order tricks that would make that work where multiple mods would run the same list. You either create a list, because you only had one list, so if you have 5 mods editing that one list, only the last one counts. So we're going to get in that situation, I'm afraid, where you're going to have to pick one mod and just not bother using the rest because it'd be pointless. Some people like to say they'll merge files and stuff like that. That's where the crashing starts. But on the other side on the flip side of the coin, though, you could get somebody doing a Star Wars overhaul or something like that, and you have the planet called Empire, and you get there and it's just full of stormtroopers. It would be easy to do. It really would be easy to do. You could do the same thing with Battlestar Galactica and do Cylons and things like that. It would be easy to do. People saying like they haven't seen any aliens in the game yet. Well, you could add them. You could have a world full of aliens. All you have to do is create a few alien races, maybe do a bit of dialogue where they go nip, nip, nip all the time, and stick it in a level list, and they'll spawn all over the planet. You know, we could replace pirates with alien races and alien bases and things like that. It would be very easy to do. You could probably do things like what they call it. Well, I don't think gaseous creatures would work, but definitely toxic things would work because that's already mentioned in the game. So yeah, but I mean the idea of the bug planets, that's a thing. It's going to happen. You're going to get it. It's guaranteed at this point to appear at some point in one of the planets, if not by Bethesda, by some modder in the future. Personally, though, I think if we can control where the bases get laid and whether we can script it so in a new game you go to a planet, certain bases are replaced by what we want to be there, then you could in theory create a pirate planet with nothing but pirates all over it that are entirely hostile or friendly to you based on your alignment in the game from quests you've done previously. So to one person, the whole planet could be hostile because they're in the other side of the law. On the other side, the planet might be entirely friendly because they're in the pirate faction. So I'm hoping that's possible, right? If it is, it's going to be great fun. Anyway, I'll see you in the next one. And just remember, level locking systems is an opportunity. It might be a bit boring at first, but when the modders start getting access to it and start messing with it, right, it's going to cause some problems, but it's also going to open up a lot of doors. See you in the future.